Welcome back to Fast News F1. Today, we dive into a heated standoff between Formula One drivers and the FIA, the sport's governing body. Recently, the GPDA, or Grand Prix Drivers Association, broke their silence with a strong message. Using their new Instagram platform, they've expressed serious concerns about the FIA's treatment of drivers. With this unified stance, the drivers are sending a clear message. They want change. But will this pressure be enough to make the FIA reconsider? Before we jump further into the details, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us reach our goal of 500 subscribers and brings you the latest updates on the world of F1. What do you think? Should the FIA address these concerns? Comment below with a simple yes or no, or let us know if you believe this could lead to lasting changes in the sport. The GPDA didn't hold back in their official statement, which highlighted the intense pressures drivers face every race weekend. These athletes are pushing their limits, reaching speeds over 300 kilometers per hour, just inches away from walls that could mean the difference between victory and a life-altering injury. The GPDA described these drivers as gladiators, who risk everything to bring excitement to the fans, underscoring the need for respect and understanding from the FIA. The statement also called out the FIA's lack of empathy, pointing to specific moments where drivers felt disrespected by the governing body. According to the GPDA, the tone and treatment from the FIA need to improve, as these aren't just athletes but professionals whose lives are on the line. If you're passionate about the driver's safety and the integrity of the sport, remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Together, we're building a community that cares deeply about Formula One. Do you think the drivers are right in demanding more respect from the FIA? Comment your thoughts below. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up if you support the driver's stance. One of the biggest points of contention raised by the GPDA involves the inconsistency in penalties, especially when it comes to language. Recently, the FIA has penalized drivers for using explicit language during or after races. Yet, as the GPDA points out, these same words have helped figures like Gunter Steiner, former Haas team principal, become fan favorites on popular shows like Drive to Survive. Why, then, should drivers face punishment for expressing themselves in the heat of the moment? The GPDA argues that not all language should be seen as offensive. There's a big difference between words spoken in frustration and those intended to insult. The statement even calls on FIA President Ben Sulayem to consider his own tone when speaking about drivers, especially in public forums. This language rule seems to be selectively applied, and that's a problem. Drivers feel they deserve more freedom to express themselves without fear of reprisal, especially when non-offensive language is being penalized. We'd love to hear your take on this issue. Do you think the FIA should loosen up on language rules? Or are these regulations necessary for professionalism? Drop your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on all the latest F1 controversies. Let's make this a vote. Thumbs up if you support the driver's right to free expression, and thumbs down if you think stricter rules are justified. Another critical issue brought up by the GPDA is the lack of transparency around financial fines. Drivers have raised concerns about where the money collected from these penalties actually goes. For years, they've called on Ben Sulayem and the FIA to explain how these funds are allocated and to disclose how they benefit the sport. One famous example is Max Verstappen's fine in 2021 for simply touching the rear wing of Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes during a post-qualifying inspection. Verstappen humorously remarked that he hoped the fine would fund a nice dinner for the FIA. Yet, the issue remains serious. The GPDA is demanding a clear financial plan that shows exactly how fines contribute to the sport's development. They argue that stakeholders, including drivers, teams, and fans, have a right to know where the money goes. Without transparency, these fines can easily appear arbitrary and even undermine the sport's reputation. What do you think about these fines? Should the FIA be more open about how it uses this money? Join the discussion in the comments below. And remember, by subscribing, you're helping us reach our 500 subscriber goal. Let's keep the F1 conversation going. Here's a quick poll for our community. Should the FIA disclose where fines go? Type yes if you agree with the GPDA, or no if you think it's unnecessary. We can't wait to see what you all think. One of the more controversial areas of FIA intervention has been in regulating personal choices, like jewelry and clothing. The GPDA's statement highlights how many drivers feel frustrated with these strict and sometimes seemingly unnecessary rules. Lewis Hamilton famously clashed with the FIA over his right to wear jewelry during races, a rule that he argued was excessive and invasive. In fact, the FIA made an exception for Hamilton during the Monaco Grand Prix, allowing him to keep his jewelry on. For many drivers, these rules feel out of touch with the spirit of the sport. The GPDA argues that such restrictions create unnecessary tension and don't directly impact the safety or quality of the racing. Drivers want to focus on what happens on the track, not on regulations that don't affect their performance. What's your stance? Do you think the FIA should relax these rules? Let us know in the comments. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us grow and bring you all the latest updates on the drivers' perspectives. Should drivers have more freedom regarding their personal choices on race weekends? Comment "more freedom" if you agree with the drivers, or keep the rules if you support the FIA's stance. One major source of frustration for the drivers is the inconsistency in the FIA's stewarding decisions. Both George Russell and Jos Verstappen, father of Max Verstappen, have publicly questioned the fairness of the penalties handed out during races. They argue that bias can creep into decisions, especially when stewards have close relationships with certain teams or drivers. An example of this was Johnny Herbert, who, as both a steward and a pundit, faced criticism from Verstappen's father, who claimed his dual roles might lead to conflicts of interest. The GPDA wants a review of the stewarding system to make it more transparent and consistent across the board. The drivers believe that a clear and standardized penalty system would not only improve the sport, but also ensure a fairer playing field for everyone involved. The inconsistency in penalties, they argue, often leaves fans and teams confused and frustrated. For the drivers, this isn't just about enforcing rules. It's about the integrity of the sport. They want the FIA to establish a fair, transparent process so that everyone knows what to expect. With such high stakes on the line, drivers feel that fairness is essential for maintaining the sport's credibility and fan trust. What do you think? Is it time for the FIA to overhaul its penalty system? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to stay informed about all the latest F1 controversies. Your support helps us reach our 500 subscriber goal and bring you more inside stories on Formula One. Do you think the FIA's stewarding process is fair? Vote yes if you believe it is, or no if you think changes are needed. Let's hear your take on this hot topic. The tension between the FIA and Formula One drivers has only been intensified by recent public statements from FIA President Ben Sulayem. He has often made remarks that some believe undermine the sport's reputation and growth. One such instance was when he questioned Formula One's valuation after a massive $30 billion offer from a Saudi investment group. Despite Liberty Media's clear plans to continue building F1's brand, Ben Sulayem's public skepticism caused unease among investors and fans alike. Comments like these, drivers argue, could have far-reaching effects on F1 stability and growth. Moreover, Ben Sulayem's remarks about certain nationalities and the focus on drivers' personal choices have also sparked concern. Max Verstappen, for instance, hinted that his penalties might be influenced by his nationality, which raises questions about fairness across the grid. For Verstappen and others, such statements from the FIA president create an unsettling atmosphere and cast doubt on the impartiality of F1's leadership. The GPDA argues that the FIA needs to uphold a professional and respectful tone, especially from the highest levels of leadership. Drivers are calling for less interference in non-racing matters and more focus on fair competition. What's your take on this situation? Should the FIA president refrain from making these kinds of public comments? Drop your opinion in the comments. And while you're at it, subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all the controversies that shape the world of F1. Help us hit that 500 subscriber milestone. With all these issues coming to light, there's a growing sense that the FIA must adapt to ensure the future of Formula One. The GPDA's statement emphasizes the need for a governing body that prioritizes transparency, fairness, and the safety of its drivers. From financial transparency to consistent rule enforcement. The drivers are united in their call for meaningful change. This demand isn't just about fixing current problems. It's about the FIA earning the trust of everyone in the sport. Drivers, teams, and fans alike want to see a governing body that operates with integrity and respect. For F1 to continue growing as the pinnacle of motorsport, the FIA must address these challenges head-on, fostering a collaborative environment where everyone feels represented. Do you think the FIA will make the necessary changes? Share your predictions in the comments below. And if you're as passionate about the future of F1 as we are, hit that subscribe button. Help us reach our goal of 500 subscribers and join a community that's dedicated to keeping F1 honest and thrilling. Final question. Do you believe the FIA will listen to the drivers' concerns? Comment yes if you think change is coming, or no if you're skeptical. Let's see what the F1 fans think. As we wrap up, it's clear that Formula One is at a crossroads. The GPDA's demands highlight the need for a governing body that respects the drivers, listens to their concerns, and is transparent with all stakeholders. This isn't just about one issue or one season. It's about shaping a better future for F1, where competition remains fair, safety is prioritized, and the spirit of the sport thrives. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the latest F1 controversy. If you're passionate about the drivers' push for change, let's keep the discussion going in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on F1's hottest topics. Help us reach that 500 subscriber milestone and become part of a community that loves Formula One as much as you do.